Hey everybody. As you can see from the title of this video, you can tell if you haven't already that Lethal has decided to leave Evil Geniuses. Just want to start off by saying, appreciate everything that, we did with him. What we did was special. Only I think one other team in the history of Halo has done what we did as a team. So I'll always have those fantastic memories of, being that dominant squad. I really wish we would have, maybe talked a little more and seen what kind of, dynasty we could have continued to be. But he has decided to leave our team for CLG, which is Royal 2, Snakebite, and Frosty. I'm pissed. I'm still pissed about the whole situation. I thought TJ and I were friends, not like best friends or anything like that, but we were definitely friends. And after this happened, I just don't see that relationship continuing. Um, I feel like it was a pretty out of the blue move. He didn't really communicate well with us at all about this. I feel like one of the biggest things in any relationship, whether it's your family, your actual relationships with a significant other, or even a team, one of the biggest things is communication. And when that disappears, you start to detach yourself from that relationship, and other people can start to be a factor in your thought process or anything. And he definitely did that. He stopped communicating with us about any issues. During practices, he said that he got this team offer, a couple days ago, whatever. We felt like it was for a couple weeks now that it felt like he was not contributing to our discussions in our team talks and scrims. It just kind of seemed like he would mute himself in the call while everyone else was discussing what went wrong. I don't really speak up too much, but I do admit when I make a wrong play, and I am willing to make those changes for the better. I know when I'm playing poorly. I don't really feel like we ever really knew how to talk to TJ as an individual if we felt like he was making a poor play or anything like that. And yeah, so I feel like that became an issue. And one of the things that he said is that he felt like we had plateaued, we weren't getting better, which I don't really understand because I still felt like we were the best team. We had really not lost a scrim. We lost a couple online tournaments, but we lost online tournaments in H2A. You know, H2A host was more of a factor than it is in this game, and we had the 1 seed, and we still lost tournaments to like Winter Fox Online. And when we got to LAN, it was no comparison which team was the better team. So I don't really feel like that is a good reasoning for it, especially with the fact that like he said that he felt like one, we weren't getting better, and if he knows anything about us as people, he knows that me and the twins are the most competitive people. We cannot stand losing. We are not okay with mediocre gameplay, anything like that. We are all perfectionists. And one of the things is that, you know, we still had a lot of time to get this fixed. Our team has seen no failure whatsoever at all. And it's really upsetting, and it's almost as if he lost his faith in our team, which if that's the case, then it's better off that he left the team because you don't want someone that just doesn't have faith in his teammates or just his team in general. And it doesn't make sense to me that with the success that we had, that he thinks that we couldn't have improved. Especially like one of the things that we talked about is that TJ was going to come visit our place. We have a nice gaming house here. Me and Taui live together, and we were going to have 2.5 weeks. He was going to come on like the beginning of February, right after X Games, and stay here for the 2.5 weeks up until regionals. And if there's a time where we need to work out some kinks, that's the perfect time. And he just decided like that wasn't something that he felt like I guess would improve us, and he just wanted to take another path. And it's still upsetting. I'm still very, very, I guess, hurt about the situation, just because I just feel like you know it's just a lack of like, I feel like respect for us. I don't know. I just can't get past the fact that you can leave some team that's just seen no failure. But one of the things that he talked about on his stream was this post right here. EG will be looking for one and deciding carefully on who to pick. Lethal's decided to leave her team for his own reasons, although we haven't lost a scrim. Could be a blessing in disguise. I don't want a teammate that thinks he is leagues above the rest of his teammates. X Games will be interesting. I don't even know if the roster is locked or not, and I'm out. So one of the things that he pointed out in this whole situation was the fact that I said that he thinks he's above us. Um, he never specifically came to us and said I'm better than you guys, because obviously that would have caused a huge fight. It's like, why would anyone say that? But if you know anything about Lethal, he's a very sarcastic person, and it's hard to tell when he's being serious or not. A lot of the situations that I can point out that would lead me to believe that he felt like he was, better than us, and kind of like felt like we weren't up to his standards. I don't know who specifically, whether it was one of us or all of us, whatever it was the fact that on his stream we've caught him saying things like, "I'm the best one on the team," and if you know TJ, he's like, "I'm the best one on the team." Like that's just like the way he voices his stuff, and he's gonna say, "Oh, I'm being sarcastic about that." He said he's sarcastic about a lot of things, and just it's just things like that like you got to be careful with what you say, whether you're sarcastic or not. It can come across the wrong way. Like I said before, we didn't really know how to approach him in situations. There was one situation which he already had the team offer. We were scrimming elevate. Our scrims didn't go very well. I played the worst Halo of my life. I even admitted that it was like the worst Halo 5 that I've played. And like I said one thing about a play he made, and he goes to theater and picks out like 6 or 7 plays. I don't even remember. He goes into a game where I had specifically said I made a bad play here. He goes to that play in theater and just points it out to his entire stream about how bad of a play it was. It's the worst play ever. And I'm just like, first time I've ever said anything to you about a play that you could have made differently or done better, and that's his reaction to it. So I feel like just something was not right there. And if like I said, I love everything that we did with the kid. Our relationship pretty much ends there. I don't feel like it ended very right, but best of luck to him and whatever he decides to choose. I really hope that it comes to bite him in the ass. But hey, I guess it's life. I'll get over it. And if you guys are wondering what's going to happen with our team, we will have another video coming out in the future about what our thought process was when we were thinking about picking up a new teammate. And yeah, so just heard about the situation, and yeah, we'll see what comes from it. So thank you all for tuning in.